Good evening, guys. What is going on? It is your boy Jake here, and I got a chance to have another incredible interview story for you guys. And real quick, let me try to fix my camera. My apologies there, y'all. Thought it would look right, but anyways, once again, welcome back inside the StreamYard Studios. I am, of course, Jake, the owner of the Fighting Now, and I'm telling you guys now, we've had so much in store for you guys tonight. This morning, we got a chance to talk to the one, the only Lauren Garcia. And it keeps on getting better because tonight we have the one, the only Khortni Kamyron that's going to be joining me here in just a few short moments. Real quick, let's always forget to do this, but real quick, y'all, we gotta get a chance to do a shout out. So let's go ahead and do that. Shout out to our great friends at RMGFX1. They've been doing so many incredible things. We currently have a merchandise with them, so I encourage you guys to go check them out at rmgfx1.com. Use promo code FIGHTNOW to save 10% off your entire order. And of course, hey, it gives you a chance to save some money. A little bit stuttery. My apologies on that one. But hey, once again, head on over to rmgfx1.com and use promo code FIGHTNOW to save 10% off your entire purchase. All right. And of course, let's go ahead and do some shout outs like we always do. First of all, let's go ahead and send a shout out to Mom's Basement MMA. Mom's Basement MMA is, of course, doing incredible things. They just had so many interviews. And of course, one of the ladies who will be a part of the very big Flex Fight series fights this coming 3 weeks from now. But hey, the interview's already out, so I encourage you guys to head on over to Mom's Basement MMA right now to go check that out. Up next, of course, we have our girl Liz with the Z podcast, Lisa Solar, who is going to be potentially getting a chance to fight at Combat Night MMA. I am very excited, and of course, she has some stuff as far as the podcast side. I encourage you guys to go check that out at Liz with the Z podcast on Instagram and YouTube. Up next, once again, is our brothers from In the Booth by Aaron Media Productions. Aaron Media Productions that has more interviews. You guys can get a chance to check them out, not only here on YouTube, but of course on wherever you get a chance to listen to podcasts at. This is In the Booth by Aaron Media Productions. It's very awesome, very incredible, and I encourage you guys to go listen to it right now. And of course, last but certainly not least, Fight Bananas. David Hawkins and the entire crew have been doing so much coverage over the last couple of weeks when it comes to different fights and, of course, different promotions. And what more can you really ask for? So, shout out to David Hawkins. Shout out to everyone part of Fight Bananas. You guys can get a chance to check them out at Fight Bananas on Instagram. All right. That is all set as far as the podcasters and the interviewer side. Now we get a chance to take a look at what is in store for you guys tonight. And yet, I'm telling y'all, this incredible fighter is doing more things, and I got a chance to watch a couple of her fights, whether it be in boxing or kickboxing. This fighter is just so unique. She's so tremendous, and I'm gonna tell you this now. She's got the experience level. She has the experience level, and we'll get a chance to talk to her about that. And of course, I have a little surprise for her. And of course, real quick, and I completely forgot about this morning when I did my interview with Laura Garcia. But tomorrow is International Women's Day, so shout out to every single lady. You know who you are, and I appreciate you guys get a chance to allow me to show you guys my support, to represent you guys in so many ways. So shout out to all you ladies out there who are fighting every day, kicking ass like you always do. So I definitely do appreciate all the women out there because without the women, us men can be hard-headed, which we are, but I feel very humbled to get a chance to be able to represent the women's combat side, whether it being bare knuckle, kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, whatever it may be. I am just so honored and the privilege to get a chance to represent all those, because this is a platform for women's fighting. It is the most incredible platform. And also, real quick, I do want to send a shout out to Manic Marn for this awesome autograph. So shout out to Manic. It's really incredible, and I definitely have to find a place to be able to put this at. But once again, shout out to Manic Marn for that incredible autograph. Hopefully we'll have more to come. But hey, real quick, if you guys want, before Khortni joins, if you guys want to get a chance to join us in the comment section by sending her a comment or something like that, then feel free. This is a perfect place. This is the perfect opportunity for you to get a chance to send her some questions, whatever it may be. I am very excited to get a chance to have her to join me here very soon. So, real quick, before we get a chance to move along, let's go ahead and get to our first official advertisement of the night. All right, that is Steve Barber and Dwayne Davis. If you guys want to become a wrestling fan, or if you are a wrestling fan, then I encourage you guys to go check out Armchair Booking. They're doing many more things, and they're doing awesome stuff. So shout out to Armchair Booking. More to come. You guys can check them out on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and of course Instagram, and a little bit of the TikTok side. So hopefully, things will get great for them as far as TikTok side. So but hey, I am just so excited. Courtney and I have been talking about this for quite some time, and the fact that we get a chance to do this interview is just so unique. It's just so incredible, and there's a story that I really want to get a chance to get involved with, and that is one of her fights against Alexandra Flores that we'll get a chance to talk about. Which was a very brutal, bloody battle. I got a chance to watch the entire fight, and both ladies were pretty much had their nose busted, and they still continued. So that goes to show how strong, how incredible these ladies are, and I'm very excited. Real quick, I also do want to send a shout out to Amy Peduto because she won her fight at Conflict this past weekend. I think it was like by split decision, by unanimous decision. Either way, she got the win. So shout out to Amy Peduto, and of course, shout out to all the ladies who's going to be fighting this coming weekend in Denver. So very big week, very huge week for all the ladies in the fighting world. So good luck to everyone who is going to be a part of that extravaganza. So while we wait for Courtney, I gotta tell you, we have so much more in store for you guys this week. Tomorrow was supposed to be Ashley Bram, but unfortunately, due to some circumstances, we'll have to reschedule her. And of course, Wednesday we have Ashley Blanco, and then Thursday at 4 o'clock, I'll get a chance to be a part of the Todd Atkins show. And I think on Friday we have Felicia, and of course this coming Saturday it will be Kate Clemens that's going to be joining me this weekend. So a lot in store, many more things in store coming for you guys' way, and I'm very excited, and it's going to be incredible. So now that we got finally get a chance to have the talking is over, let's go ahead and help me welcome into the StreamYard studio. She is the one, she is the only, Khortni Kamyron.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Sorry for the stutter, but I am so glad you get a chance to join me. What have you been up to lately?
I actually just got home from training.
How did training go?
Pretty good actually. Did a lot of groundwork tonight. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, bet you've been very busy late between working and training. I mean, you gotta be worn out, ain't you?
A little bit, yeah. I'm kind of used to it. I've been doing this for several years, the working and the training aspect, so it doesn't really bother me until, you know, maybe 3 to 4 weeks out from a fight, and I'm just completely exhausted, pushing myself to absolute max. I think that's when it gets to me, but now not so bad.
And now you finally get a chance to be in your comfort zone. And real quick, before we get started, I do want to let you guys know you guys can get a chance to follow Courtney on Instagram at Courtney underscore, because the first time I got a chance to meet her was a couple of shout outs, and ever since then it's like she became my best friend. And I gotta say it's definitely an honor and privilege to get a chance to finally interview you, because I've been wanting to have this happen for so long. And
Oh, that's so
so
awesome.
well, I mean, obviously, I'm not worthy right now, but either way, though, I mean, I'm gonna tell you all this before we get started. This woman has the experience level. We'll get to that in a few, because she's done kickboxing, MMA, and boxing, and we'll get to that later on. And of course, the first thing I want to start off with is we always have something that inspires us to continue with what we're doing, something that gets us going. What inspired you to start fighting?
I actually just stepped on the mat one day. I had no intention of fighting ever in my life. A friend of mine talked me into trying a kickboxing class, and I fell in love with it. And I just started training and decided to compete in a local Muay Thai tournament. And they paired me up as a beginner against somebody that had 8 fights and a lot of experience. I lasted all 3 rounds with her. I got my ass handed to me, but I was able to stay in and finish, all 3 rounds with her. And it was really hard, and I was not in a good place in my life at the time. So I decided to keep training just to get better. That's all I wanted to do was just get better. And then my coach came to me one day and he was like, "Hey, I got a fight offer for you. And we're going to take it." And I was like, "Crap, okay." And so I took that fight on 3 weeks' notice, went in there, completely dominated, came away with a win, and it was like I was hooked right away, like just constant wins, constantly doing better. And then it makes me be a better person,
Yeah.
right? It makes me feel more rounded. It's a challenge, right? Not a lot of people will get in there and do it. So that is another form of motivation. I don't know. There's so many different levels to it. Like that's a really deep question. My why. Um, you know, when I lost a fight a couple years ago, and I took 9 months off because I forgot my why. And so my fight back was my first MMA fight. And in that fight, I had found my why before I went back in, and that was my kids. Like I was fighting for my kids for that one. And I went in there, and that was when I fought Alex. And it was a good fight. I finished that fight in the second round. That's that bloody picture that I sent
Hmm.
you that you that you like so much. And so after rediscovering my why, I feel unstoppable.
That is just very unique, and yeah, we'll definitely talk about that fight here soon because that was one of the
Okay.
topics I definitely wanted to talk about. And yet you talked about, you had a rough time in your life once when you
Mhm.
started kickboxing. If you don't mind me asking, what place was you going through at that time?
So I actually was in a very shitty marriage, for lack of a better word. My ex-husband was not supportive. Um, I don't know that he really particularly cared for me fighting. Um, it was very mentally abusive. I had no self-esteem. Like it was rough. And that ended up ending in a domestic that went to trial. Yeah, pretty bad place in my life. But got out of it, and I am thriving and living my best life.
That well, first of all, I definitely do admire the fact that you opened up to me, and that's definitely an honor. And I definitely do apologize with everything. And it goes to show that you've overcome so much in your life. And before we even continue on, I want to say I'm proud of you. I am very, very
Thank
proud
you.
of you because not too many people can go through what you just went through and get back up and then to continue rising like you have been over the last couple of years. So I definitely do admire that. Um,
Thank you.
no problem. So we pretty much, we talked about the training part, and of course, you're currently training at Fusebox. Hopefully, I said that right.
Yes.
Fusebox, Sambo One. How much of a family have they been to you during your time in your fighting style?
So, Fusebox is where I started. Um, that is, I've cross trained at a couple of other gyms, and they were very great to me. They treated me very well. Um, but when I was going through my divorce and a couple of really rough patches in my life, my friends that I developed there, um, they were kind of my support system. They were what helped. And I think that it's just been because like I've been there for so long, been so established. it's my home away from home. It's when I didn't want to go home before, I would go to the gym.
So pretty much it's like, you don't want to go home because then you have so much that's waiting for you, but instead you're going to your second home, which is
Yeah,
Fusebox, and they've been more like a family to you than ever, to say the least, right?
correct. Yeah.
Well, real quick, I did want to send a shout out to Fusebox because Fusebox is definitely an amazing team, and I encourage you guys to go check them out because they build incredible fighters like her, and that goes to show how much they're training and how much they're preparing for these fighters. Sorry about that. I'm hearing train tracks, but
That's okay.
so pretty much, looking back, and we all have something that inspires us and motivates us to get out of bed to continue with what we're doing. What inspires you to be able to continue with what you're doing today?
I love it. Like, I have such a passion for this sport. I am fully engulfed in it and not ready to walk away. And I am doing things that, 3 or 4 years ago, I never in a million years thought that I would be doing. I'm going all over the country, fighting in different states, and I'm meeting incredible people along the way and making, friends out of my opponents. I'm finding people with the same type of story or that have the same similar background, to what I went through. And yeah, I would say like my passion and the experiences that come with it.
And you know that, but yet, and if anyone who is watching this right now who hasn't been a part of the media or the MMA family, no matter if you're a fighter or or part of the media, it is one huge family because we as the interviewers get a chance to listen to incredible stories, and you listen to how much they've overcome. And if you want to be a part of the MMA family, I encourage you guys either be a fighter or get a chance to work on your broadcasting, interviewing, because you can make incredible friends because and in case anybody don't know, that's how like me and Courtney are like best friends. Like she's like my older sister I've always wanted, and it's like she's got my back, I got her back, I got everyone in the fighting now who's been a part of this page's back, because that goes to show how big of a family the MMA community is.
Yeah, definitely. It's a huge community. Even my boyfriend was saying he didn't realize like the community with it all. And there's the amateur level, there's the local level, the regional, and then, the big shows, Bellator, UFC.
Oh yeah, and I definitely think we'll end up seeing you in one of those because that's how what the amazing record that you have. So I do have a surprise for you. I do have a surprise for you. I have some tricks on my sleeve, and I want to pull up the picture day of a fight that you just talked about,
Okay.
and this
Yeah.
is you and Alexandra
Yep.
right after the fight. And in case anyone wants to know the white stains on her shirt, that is her. That is one of y'all's blood.
It's a combination of both of ours for sure. I love that
Oh,
picture.
man. I got a chance to watch both rounds on your Instagram page earlier, and I got a chance to talk to Alexandra when I pretty much posted, and she commented, how amazing you were and how awesome he was. And I remember when you sent me this, I was like, oh my gosh, that
Yeah.
is brutal. I mean, talk about that fight with Alexandra, because that was something I don't think you even expected to have. Both
Oh
end of the
no.
fight, both noses are bloodied up.
Yeah, I was actually really intimidated. So she had an MMA record going into that fight, and that was my MMA debut. I'd never fought with small gloves before, never done MMA in a ring, and our MMA fight was outdoors in a ring. I found out right before we fought that knees to the head were legal. I found out in the fight that smothering was legal. Everything about that fight surprised me. And I was telling my coach, I was like, I have small gloves. I know I can hit hard. I want to make my opponent bleed. And it wasn't anything personal. That's
Mhm,
just for me, when I can make my opponent bleed, it like makes it more barbaric, if you will. And it just
mhm.
kind of like puts everything to a whole nother level. So I know she tagged me first, and I felt my nose just kind of start spewing, and I was like, okay, this is kind of fun, right? As weird as it sounds. And then I tagged her, and I saw her start to bleed, and then it was just like this back and forth, um, completely exhausted. Both of us were swinging, and I was like, "There's blood. Let's make more because, it's not only a fight, but it's entertainment as well, right? So
Yeah.
let's just keep adding to it." And so yeah, I we got to the ground and I could hear my coach because we were right there in the corner. And I
Yeah.
remember I was in mount and I looked over and I saw like a clot of blood, just a nice little chunk just sitting right in the ring next to me. And I was like, oh my God, this is disgusting. And so I was like, rolling off the momentum, like things were going my way. I know at one point, like she had me in a pretty crappy position where she was on top, my back was up against the ropes, and I was like, just survive this shit, like we'll keep going. And then I ended up in mount, and I was just like started plowing away, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. And the next thing I knew, the ref threw me off, and I was like, holy shit, did that just happen? Like, I just won, but I didn't just win. Like, I finished a fight. And
Yeah.
so it was really cool. It was such a good experience. And if you look through the film rolls or if you watch the tape on it, I was really emotional after that fight because, like I said, I had that 9-month layoff. I refound my purpose again. I did something I didn't think was possible, and it kind of reaffirmed my faith in myself, and it put me to a whole nother level with MMA. And then I became instantly addicted to the MMA aspect of fighting.
Well, real quick before I even continue on, you do have a comment from someone who I did the Jay and Trey podcast with, Trey, and he says, "Hey Courtney, I hope you're doing well."
I am doing well. I hope you're doing well also.
Definitely a shout out to Trey. But yet, I was watching the video and I can hear your coach say, "Yo, like, come on, make sure you use those knees." And I think there was another coach that tell you, use those knees." And I can remember right after the fight, you started getting emotional, and I was like, obviously for the win, but I did not know the fact that you had went through so much, and this was your first actual MMA fight against a well-known opponent with a very skilled and a very amazing record at the time with Alexandra, and this was awesome, really awesome, and I encourage you guys to head on over to Courtney's Instagram. Watch both videos because it goes to show like how much you have learned and how much you have overcome, and the fact that and this has to be a fight that you had to look back on because you just told me you went through a lot of hell right before your MMA fight. Do you ever just kind of just sit there and reflect on the entire fight and look back on it?
Oh yeah, all the time. I had 10 fights prior to that MMA fight, and I had come off a pretty craptacular loss the October prior. Um, but I feel like that specific fight was a huge stepping stone for me, um, because it made me understand my capabilities a whole lot more. And um, I learned so much from it. Granted, I won the fight, I finished the fight, but I still learned from it as well.
Yeah,
And that translated over into my fight in Florida with, oh gosh, Paulette Arenas. And
yeah,
so
Texas,
I
yeah.
was I was able to take knowledge from that fight moving into that one. I actually have a couple of fight talks in progress, and
Ooh.
so I'm hoping there's two. I'm hoping to take all of the knowledge I've gained off of these first two fights into these next ones and go from there.
Well, and yet we definitely talk about the experience level. And I'm telling y'all, listen to her records. And I had to write this down because, this goes to show how much she loves to fight. She is currently 2-0 in MMA, 2-0 in boxing, 5, 2, and 1 in kickboxing. That goes to show how much you enjoy the sport of fighting. It goes to show how much you enjoy it. So, I mean, what made you decide to go for all these different types of fights, whether it be boxing or kickboxing? Because I watched one of your fights, and I think this was an outside event during the pandemic, and you got a chance to fight a box inside of a octagon. And
Okay,
so,
yeah. With
yeah,
the pink gloves?
with the pink gloves, yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I got a chance to watch that, and I'm thinking, how do you prepare for so much? I mean, do you ever just get a call and like, hey, do you want to fight? Okay, put these gloves on, I'm ready to go. Do you ever just do that?
Pretty much. That's how um after my divorce, that was kind of what kept me grounded and focused for a while was that I had fighting to keep myself occupied.
Hmm.
And so every opportunity that came my way, I took it. I
Yeah.
didn't care what it was. And so that fight was my first boxing match. It was very different, but I thought it would be a good way to challenge myself. I took that one on 10 days' notice, and that was the first fight in a string of 3 fights within a 6-week period.
Jeez, and
Yeah.
that's just wild. That is just wild.
Yeah.
I mean, was that the shortest notice that you've ever fought? I mean, 10 days notice,
Yeah.
or was it? And not only that, but yet you also got a chance to box inside of a cage. Did it ever feel weird to think, okay, I'm gonna be fighting in the cage, but it's not MMA or kickboxing, it's just boxing.
Um, no, I was actually really excited because I was fighting outside, which was like one of my bucket list items of, things I wanted to do in my fight career. And I was fighting in a cage for the first time. So that was really cool to me. And then the promotion that I fought for was another bucket list item as well. And
Mhm.
so it was actually not as weird as it seemed boxing
Mhm.
in an MMA cage. I actually got a lot of questions on that, like, how was it boxing in an MMA cage? It was cool. But I've boxed in a cage and I've done MMA in a ring. So
Mhm.
there's a you're
Uh,
a lot of versatility to everything I've done, I guess.
Kind of a little bit of deja vu to think about. You got a chance to fight in a ring, and then of course you end up boxing in a cage. And so that's, I mean, at least you get a chance to cross that off your
Yeah.
bucket list.
Yep.
And so there's something I thought about, and you talked about being a mom, and of course, being a fighter as you are. What's something that you want your kids to see while you go out there and train, and while you go out there and fight? What's the one thing you want your kids to notice about you as the fighter?
I want them to know that even the most far-fetched things are completely possible. You just have to work for them.
No, no. I know you're definitely teaching a lot of kids about everything you're showing right now. So I definitely do admire that, and shout out to you kids because I know that they're learning from the best.
Yeah, they are. My son actually just fought last weekend in his third Muay Thai fight, so that was really cool to watch. And my daughter was competing in jiu-jitsu for several years, and she's now transitioned over into equestrian sports. So, but
There you go.
her work ethic with that is the same as mine to fighting. So, I hope that she at least gets some takeaway from the discipline.
Oh, I mean, the only thing you can do is just hope and learn that she does.
Yeah.
And yet, I definitely do want to ask you. And we all get a lot of questions about what is it that you love about the combat sports. So, what is the one thing that you love about the sport?
I love that it is uncommon, right? So not everybody will step into the ring and with another human being that's trying to kill him.
That is true. That is very, very true. And plus, I mean, you also think about the different types of styles of fighting. I mean, we're looking at boxing, the kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and of course now even bare knuckle style. I mean, we're seeing a lot of different types of fighting styles. And plus, you are part of an amazing generation of women that is competing right now. Which, by the way, I definitely do admire that and applaud to all of you ladies for going out there and fighting. Um,
Absolutely.
Joe, and I want you to think about this. And do you ever just think about all your struggles from between your ex-husband to what happened with your kids to where you're now? You ever just think about how many obstacles you've had to overcome to get where you are today?
Oh yeah, every day. Every day is a constant reminder. I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't gone through those struggles, and it
Yeah.
makes me value the highs so much more, um, and appreciate, all the good things in my life. Um, yeah, it makes me very mentally tough as well, I guess. Because there's been so many times where, most people would just quit, right? Being
Yeah.
in these shitty situations. And some of the situations that I've been in, I wanted to quit. I wanted to just be done. I didn't want to deal with it anymore. But there were things that I was holding on to, hopes of, a better life, hopes of finding amazing love, all these great things. The same thing with fighting, you get in there, you're so fucking tired, you don't want to do it anymore. You just want to give up, you just want to quit, but you
Hmm.
keep fighting, you keep holding on for those super high highs, you get to
Yeah.
win these fights, your hand gets raised, people recognize you, people applaud you, you get to go home with titles and your names on, rankings of the United States or on world levels. Like, you just
Yeah.
have to keep fighting through all that hard shit. So I think it is, kind of just all goes hand in hand.
Well, we know that, but yet, and this is something I've always wanted to tell people because, you and many others know that I struggle with my mental battles, and the one thing I always try my best to do is I try to tell people like, if you are depressed, if you have anxiety, whatever it may be, just go to an MMA camp, go to a boxing training camp, whatever it may be, jiu-jitsu. It could be anything, but one thing I can tell you is it's not just about fighting. You're going in there because you have so much that is you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And when you walk into that gym, you're not only greeted by the trainer himself, but you're greeted by many others who could potentially understand you. And if you feel like you don't have a family right now, that camp can make you feel like family. I mean, look at Courtney. I mean, whenever she went into Fuse Box, I mean, that's literally her second home. That goes to show how much of an impact it can make on you. So for anyone who's struggling out there, I can't stress this enough. Go out, get up, and go over to your nearest gym and just join them. Just join them, have fun, get a chance to be a part of something incredible, something unique, because it can not only help you, with if you're trying to become a fighter, but it can also help you in a mental way.
Absolutely. That was, I have related my fighting and my training to therapy a lot. And I've told people like that was my mental escape, right? I would go into the gym and be able to shut everything off in my brain that was going on because I would focus on the task at hand, which was my mitt work or learning a new skill or drilling until, or pushing past all the point of exhaustion, pushing your body, to new limits and stuff like that. And it would shut off all of my other problems, even
Hmm.
if it was just for an hour or 2 hours or however long I could, be there for. And it would give me a little bit of mental clarity, a little bit of a break from, the depression, the anxiety, all of that stuff. And so when I would leave out of the gym, you get your endorphin release, but then you get that brain break as well. And you have mental clarity and things just seem maybe not that bad, or you get a different look on things.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage anybody to just even try it.
Yeah. And I definitely do agree because I've always said this in my posts is that, Joe. I think of, fighting like what you guys are. When you get knocked down, you get back up. And for us, for anyone out there, they feel like that they can be knocked down, but they have a chance to get back up. You can't be down for the 10 count. You have to keep on going. You have to keep rising up, because I think of Khortni and many others as warriors, because if we can look at how much they've gone through and the fights and the camps and everything in that perspective, then we can get up and we can do something like that in general. And I've always tell people, and I'm going to say this again, just because you fight depression does not defy you. It is how you handle it what defines you. It's like with these fighters. Just because you might have lost does not mean that you're a loser. It means you have a chance to learn something and you can get back up and potentially win your next fight. You can't be down for the
Absolutely.
count forever.
Absolutely. One of the shirts that I have on my website, on the back of it says I don't quit, and I don't. I will fight until I can't fight anymore, until they make me stop.
I'm getting ready to pull this up again. I think you've seen it. I think many others have seen it, but I definitely got to just keep reminding everyone exactly who they are. It's going to be memorized in April 1st, but
That's awesome.
just keep going, just
Yep,
keep going. I mean, yo, this life may suck, but at the end of the day, you're still here and you're still rising up to the top where you need to be.
exactly. Got to make the best of it, right?
Amen, amen, sister, amen. I mean, and so now we continue on. I definitely do apologize. It was something not a topic. Um, but Joe, moving on is Joe. What is something you look back on throughout your entire fighting career? What is something that you look back on throughout this entire incredible journey?
I actually make friends with every girl I have stepped into the ring or cage with.
Hmm.
Um, we all find a common ground. There's, I think, one that I am not friends with, but everybody else, we're all the same. We all have a common goal. It's to get in there and win and do the best that we can. Um, and we may beat the hell out of each other and cuss at each other, play stupid mind games or whatever. But at the end of the day, every girl I have fought, I have given her a hug. I've paid my respects to her. I've thanked her for getting into the ring with me. Um, and like, you don't find that in everyday stuff, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah.
Well, I have something special for you. We're almost at the end of this, but I got one final question, and we'll get to it. What's next for you? What is next for Khortni Kamyron?
I have a list of what's next. I actually got a fight offer today that I am in talks on getting ironed out. And then I have another one set up for May.
Ooh.
And as long as everything goes as I'm hoping and I get out there and leave everything in the cage, I will be turning pro by summertime. And I have a couple of avenues set up for that route already as well.
Excuse me while I say, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And if you guys want to get a chance to keep up with all the potential news, of course, once again, make sure to follow Courtney on Instagram. Or if you guys want to follow her, either way, though, I will make
Yeah.
sure that the news will be released. I know she'll tell me, and I will get the news spread out there.
Oh, totally.
So,
I have it posted on my website as well. I try to keep that as updated as possible. Um, but yeah, follow me on social media and you
I
might catch
mean,
it first.
not only that, but hey, get a chance to go share, go spread the love to her. Go a chance to like her post, whatever it may be, comment, as long as anything derogative. Either way, though, get a chance to go and show this amazing fire some love. So, so what I have in store for you is I pretty much try to figure out the right word to say, because you are an amazing person, and
Mhm.
for anyone who may not know, she's helped me out a couple of times during my mental battles. her and many others. And I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I definitely do appreciate your friendship. I definitely do appreciate the amazing person in general. It's definitely been an honor to get a chance to share the amazing fighter that you are on the page, and it's
you.
definitely incredible. So I just want to tell you thank you for all that you do, and I am so proud of you for overcoming everything that you went through to get where you are today. And not too many people can say they went through hell to rise to the top, and you, my friend, are the example of that. And so thank you for that. Thank you for
Thank
everything that you do.
you so much.
And not only that, but yet, and I thought of the right words to say because tomorrow is International Women's Day, I believe. And so tomorrow, so while I have the chance, while I have the platform, I do want to say thank you to all the incredible ladies, well, you as yourself, for kicking ass like you do every day, whether if it's being a mom, being a fighter, being this, being that, whatever it may be. The ladies don't get much recognition that they deserve, but yet they should. And I want to tell you, I have myself and many others. I definitely do appreciate all the ladies who has been a part of the page, who has been just shouted out, interview. The list goes on and on, like Oliver Tree's life goes on. But either way, though, um, my point is that it's definitely amazing to see all of you ladies grow as fighters, as individuals, because you guys are the ones that inspire many others, myself included. I mean, I'm pretty much here to get a chance to shout you guys out or get a chance to have the ability to let you guys share your story. And your story was definitely phenomenal. So,
Thank you.
so shout out to all.
Oh,
Hey,
look.
oh, oh, hey, what's up, buddy? Oh,
You
it's
want to
like
say
some.
hi? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yes.
It's like,
Okay.
Mama, what are you doing? Well, okay, okay, bye, Mama. But yeah, well, looks like we got another comment. What is going on? The homie OHG. Hello. Either
Hello.
way, I was just trying to say, it's definitely an honor, and I definitely do appreciate you and many others for being a part of the fighting now. And you guys are kicking ass every day, and I am so proud of every single one of you guys.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem, no problem. But before we get a chance to hop off here, is there any final comments you want to say?
No, no, I talk a lot, so I'm sure I could say 1,000 more words, but um,
I mean, hey, I mean, the floor is yours. The floor is yours, my friend. I mean, yeah, either way, I mean, I know you got something to say if you want to say it. I mean,
no, just feel free to follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I do have a website. It's headhunterfight.com. Go grab some gear. Yeah, go grab
um,
some cool merch and wear it to my fight whenever I come to a city near you.
if you're heading to the armpit of America, known as West Virginia, I will definitely make sure to get a chance to wear some gear, or anywhere near the armpit. I will make sure to get a chance to go and support you. Khortni
Awesome.
Kamyron, it is definitely an honor, and I would before I go, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I have to do it. I have to do it.
Oh,
But
thank you so much.
not a problem. I will definitely send you the link to this if you want to get a chance to check it out. But once again,
Of course.
follow her on all social media, headhunter.com, and get a chance to buy some merch because once I get paid, I will definitely have to do that. I know I've been trying to, but bills have been. But either way, though, but Courtney, I'll let you go. I'll let you go relax. I will definitely talk to you after this. But I hope you have a great night.
I hope you have a great night too. Thank you so much for having me.
It's definitely an honor to have you. I'll definitely see you later.
All right.
Later. That was Khortni Kamyron, y'all. That was awesome. Really awesome to get a chance to talk to her. And what an amazing story. What an amazing fighter she is. What an amazing woman she is. If you guys just want to get a chance to follow me on Instagram at The Fighting Now, and we got many more interviews to come. Once again, the Ashley Graham interview is going to be delayed, but Wednesday we have Ashley Blanco. I think we might have an interview Thursday, but if not, I'll be on the Todd Atkins show on Thursday. Felicia's joining me on Friday, and Kate Clemens is coming weekend. So More to come for you guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Once again, I am Jake, and once again, happy International Women's Day to all the amazing ladies out there. And I will definitely see you guys later on. And have a good night.